Star Trek Strange New Worlds reveals Commander Pelia's age. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has earned a reputation for rejuvenating familiar corners of the franchise while introducing new, eccentric, deeply memorable characters. Among them, Commander Pelia, played with delightful chaos by Carol Kane, stands out as one of the show's most unpredictable gems. With her whimsical mannerisms, centuries-old wisdom, and habit of dropping lore-rich hints, Pelia immediately invited speculation. Fans knew she was old. They knew she had lived several human lifetimes. But until recently, they didn't know how old. Season 3 finally answers that lingering mystery, and in true Pelia fashion, the reveal is equal parts comedic, awe-inspiring, and quietly emotional. Strange New Worlds doesn't simply list her age as a trivia point. It uses the revelation to deepen her character, expand Trek mythology, and subtly comment on the franchise's evolving relationship with legacy, time, and chosen family. Here's how the series pulls it off, and why Pelia's true age matters more than anyone expected. Pelia's age, the reveal fans didn't know they needed. Throughout her appearances, Pelia has dropped playful breadcrumbs about her history. She helped civilizations rise, collected antiques from centuries long gone, and survived disasters most historians treat as far-off legends. In one scene, she casually notes that she remembers when dilithium was just a fun rock, claiming she lived through eras of technological upheaval. But all those teases pointed in the same direction. She's a lanthanite, a near-immortal human subspecies capable of living for millennia. Season 3 finally puts a number on it. Commander Pelia is over 1,000 years old. The show reveals this tidbit during a mission that forces Pelia to confront aspects of her past she'd rather forget. When the Enterprise investigates a derelict structure containing artifacts from multiple historical periods, Pelia recognizes one of the items because she built it. This leads to a humorous and slightly exasperated confession to the crew. She's been alive for around 11 centuries, though she admits she lost count after her 8th passport change. Or was it the 9th? The revelation is classic Pelia, whimsical yet profound, and it retroactively explains nearly everything about her. Why Pelia's age matters for the character. Knowing Pelia's true age provides clarity into her personality, motivations, and worldview in a way that elevates every scene she's in. 1. Her eccentricity has depth now. Pelia's tendency to ramble, her odd teaching methods, and her love of collecting junk suddenly make perfect sense. When you've lived 1,000 years, chaos becomes natural. She's watched civilizations rise and fall, so why worry if cadets complain about her teaching style? Her eccentricity isn't random, it's survival. A millennium of loss, reinvention, and adaptation shapes a person. Pelia simply chooses to meet eternity with humor rather than despair. 2. It reframes her relationship with the Enterprise crew. Pelia may be older than the Federation itself, but she never acts superior. Instead, she approaches Spock, Uhura, and the rest of the crew with affectionate patience. Now we understand why. After living so long, she cherishes the fleeting connections she makes. Her mentorship of Uhura, one of the franchise's emotional centerpieces, hits even harder. Pelia sees in Uhura a young woman still learning to navigate a galaxy Pelia has been watching for 1,000 years. Yet she never speaks down to her. She guides lightly, nudges gently, and supports fully. 3. Pelia becomes Star Trek's latest symbol of hope. Star Trek has always championed optimism, but Pelia embodies a rare kind of long-term hope. She has seen humanity at its worst, wars, collapses, near extinction, and still believes in its future. Her age isn't a burden, it's a testament to resilience. Characters like Guinan and Spock offer perspective across centuries, but Pelia exceeds even them. Her sheer longevity gives her a unique philosophical grounding. The future is always capable of being better than the past. That's the most Star Trek idea of all. How Pelia's age expands Star Trek lore. Strange New Worlds uses the reveal not just to enrich Pelia, but to broaden the universe's mythology in meaningful ways. 1. Lanthanites become a fully canonical species. Pelia's species was introduced as a curiosity, humans with incredibly long lifespans and a tendency to hide in plain sight. Season 3 cements the Lanthanites as fully canonical and expands on their culture subtly through Pelia's remarks. We learn that Lanthanites tend to avoid forming tight communities to avoid attracting attention. Many choose solitary lives to avoid watching loved ones age. They have a complicated ethical relationship with human technological advancement, trying not to influence history too directly. Pelia, of course, is the rebellious exception. To a thousand-year witness to history, her age allows the writers to intertwine Pelia with historical Star Trek events, even if just through implications. She lived before First Contact, before Warp Drive, before the Federation's earliest foundations. Imagine the potential stories. Pelia witnessing Vulcan Earth diplomatic beginnings, Pelia living through Khan's reign, Pelia watching the post-World War II rebuilding efforts, Pelia quietly guiding humanity toward stability one antique shop at a time. The more we learn, the more mysterious and compelling she becomes. 3. A new perspective on Starfleet's mission. Pelia serves as a philosophical counterweight to characters like Pike and Spock. They fear the unknown future. Pelia has lived enough to stop fearing anything at all. The moral questions of exploration look different when you've already witnessed centuries of evolution. Her long life forces the audience to reconsider Starfleet's mission. Exploration isn't just about discovering what's out there, but understanding how the past shapes the future. The emotional weight behind Pelia's age. For all the comedy surrounding Pelia's eccentric commentary about that time she watched a medieval king trip on his own sword, Season 3 adds emotional nuance to what it means to live so long. Loneliness beneath the humor. Carol Kane brings a heartbreaking subtlety to Pelia. In scenes where she speaks about the past, there's a flicker of sadness beneath the jokes. The reveal of her age amplifies this. She has outlived every friend she's ever made, every partner, every student. Her humor isn't frivolous, it's a coping mechanism. Why she joined Starfleet late in life. A key reveal in the episode is why Pelia, after 1,000 years, suddenly chose Starfleet. She explains she was tired of staying detached, tired of living on the sidelines of history, tired of avoiding relationships because they would hurt to lose. Joining Starfleet wasn't career ambition, it was an act of defiance against her own emotional survival instincts. She chose connection despite the pain it may cause. That's one of the most quietly powerful arcs in Strange New Worlds. How Pelia's age influences her relationship with Pike. Pelia's dynamic with Captain Christopher Pike is one of the most unexpectedly charming in the series. Pike, who struggles with the knowledge of his own mortality, interacts with a woman who has lived in defiance of time itself. Their conversations gain new meaning. Pike fears the years ahead. Pelia has lived centuries Pike can barely imagine. Pike worries about the weight of destiny. Pelia knows destiny is less rigid than it appears. The show cleverly uses her age reveal to contrast their worldviews. Pelia doesn't diminish Pike's trauma, she contextualizes it. And in return, Pike gives Pelia something she hasn't had for centuries, a community to belong to. Pelia's age sets up future story potential. With her age out in the open, Strange New Worlds now has fertile ground for future explorations of Pelia's history. Future storylines could explore flashbacks to Pelia in vastly different eras of Earth's history, encounters with others who knew her centuries ago, both friends and enemies, a storyline where Pelia's past mistakes return to haunt her, spanning generations,